Hey guys, Thetcglover haircut video today. In case you haven't noticed my background already, I am now in university. I'm just got into my accommodation. I literally got here a couple of hours ago, so I'm actually just put everything down and turn on the camera, and now I'm doing a video. Now, the Yu-Gi-Oh organization, I've talked about them before in a previous video, and talked about how they are a new blog that is posting loads of really cool stuff, OCG deck lists, OCG rulings that are now going to be put into TCG, talking about particular articles and leaking brand new cards that are going to come out in new sets. So it's really cool to follow them at the moment because they're really keeping up to date. You know, sometimes, like for instance my blog, eventually it starts to degrade over time and you realize that I shouldn't watch this blog anymore because they don't keep up with topics. It's not worth my time to keep watching these things. However, with this blog, at this particular time, they're okay. But it could get a lot worse, and so at this point, their stuff is relevant, so that's why I can make a video on it. Now, this video today is talking about sleeving. Now, sleeving has been explicitly stated by the Konami policy recently, and I want to quickly say what I can read here. A player may choose to use plastic card sleeves to protect their cards during the course of a tournament. All sleeves must be identical in terms of colour, wear and design, and all cards must be placed into sleeves in the same direction and manner. Okay. Players may not double sleeve their decks. Okay, that is something. That is completely fine. Okay, Konami, if you want to enforce that people can't double sleeve their decks, then that is fine. I know that the OCG do it. I know that when watch the OCG duelists, they have like quadruple sleeve decks, so they have this massive 40 card deck and they're like, that's fine. That's fine. We can't obviously do that, so that is completely fine. Having a small deck, you know, not double sleeve because you increase the chance of marking cards, it starts to get a little bit weird. I don't know, I guess it makes sense to not double sleeve cards. Only one sleeve may be used on each card. Players may only have one card in each sleeve. That's great too. Players may not have anything but that card in the sleeve. So all this stuff right now is pretty acceptable and everyone knows this stuff already. However, the thing is, what they're getting out of this is you will not allowed to have main deck sleeves and your extra deck sleeved in different colors. Okay, what they're enforcing now is that you cannot have Inzektor deck and then have your extra deck in different colors. What does that mean for you? Basically, the problem is with this is simply because you need visually and you need to semantically be able to distinguish the difference between your main deck and your extra deck. If you're gonna go synchro or Xyz crazy in your deck and then you shuffle up all of your synchro monsters, let's say that your synchro monsters and Xyz monsters go to the graveyard, and then during the end of the game your opponent scoops, you scoop up your cards, you reshuffle, redraw, and start game 2, and then you open up, I don't know, a bunch of synchro monsters in your hand opening turn, and you go, okay, I'm sorry, I accidentally shuffled some synchro monsters or Xyz monsters into my deck, so I need to reshuffle and do it again. What this does, even though that the judge, apparently according to this, the judge will not give you a warning if you do that. If you open up with synchro or Xyz monsters, then they won't give you a warning. They'll just say, okay, take the cards out, reshuffle, redo it again. All of that requires you to put up your hand, right, call a judge, get the judge to give you the ruling to tell you what to do, and then you have to basically take the cards out, double check to make sure, okay, make sure you sided alright as well, and then you can carry on. And that takes at least 5 minutes, okay? If you're playing a 40-minute match and you're having to waste 5 minutes, or even 10 minutes if you do it twice over, if you have to waste 5-10 minutes or more than that just because of a stupid mistake like that, then clearly that is something of a problem with Konami rather than you yourself. Okay, they should not expect you to make absolutely sure that you have Xyz or Synchro monsters out of your deck before you start. Okay, the way you can get around this is simply by having a different colored extra deck. Okay, when I play casual, I double sleeve my extra deck just to make absolutely sure. I like to have my extra deck slightly more glamorous than my main deck because I know my main deck is just going to have normal cards. But when you summon your big beaters, your Dracosex, your Big Eyes, your Photon Strike Bouncers, I don't know, whatever, Atoms and Gaia Chargers, you want to have them in a nice cool sleeve with a cool design on it, so when you summon it, it's all nice and fancy. It shows that you have an interest in the game. However, if you take that away from players and you start to make it so that both are the same, then it makes it really shit and boring, and you suddenly have this problem where you keep drawing into Xyz monsters in your main deck, and that's not your fault. However, what they are doing now is they're enforcing this to a point where if you start doing it in the main event, if you don't have the same colours, then the judge is completely in their right to give you a game loss or give you a warning. Basically, you get a warning, and then if you proceed to keep doing it, okay, throughout the entire tournament, multiple judges or the same judge catches you doing it, where you have a different coloured extra deck and you haven't bothered to change it, then they're entitled to give you game losses, match losses, or even DQ you if you just take the piss. Okay, if you start saying, "Judge, I don't think that's right, I don't think I should have to change it," and then the judge says you need to read the policy, you need to, before you come to a tournament, you need to read the policy, then you're going to say, "Oh, I don't think it's right though, it's, even though it's in the policy, I don't think it's morally right to be expecting players to be having the same colours. It just causes confusion." Okay, and the only reason why they're enforcing this policy on players is because of a couple of cards that need you to have the same colours. Okay, one card is Question. Okay, Question is one card where you need to have your graveyard the exact way that you put it in. You can't shuffle your graveyard, you can't fan it and then move cards around, you know, make a misplay and then put them back in a different order. They need to be exactly the same order. That's why if a judge catches you messing your graveyard up, they're entitled to give you a game loss because you messed up, you create an irreparable game state. That is one card where your opponent needs to guess the bottom card of your graveyard, and if the bottom card of your graveyard is an extra deck monster and it's double sleeved and it's a different colour, then they will know what it is and they'll be able to call it out, and then it will be an unfair game state and not very fair. Another card is Magical Hats, where you need to put your monster face down and then you get two spell or trap cards out of your deck, and then you put them on the field and then you shuffle them up, put them down. So if one of your extra deck monsters is a different colour to the other cards, then there will be a problem because your opponent will know instantly which card is which, and then they will know which one to pick or attack or whatever. So that is it. Those little obscure cards that no one plays is the only reason why they're enforcing this on us, and it's not really fair. Comment down below your opinion on the matter. If you feel like sleeving the same colour is a stupid idea or you like it, I don't know. So you just gotta tell me, and I'd love to have a little chat with you about it in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I hope I can make some new videos soon and all that stuff. So until next time guys, the Thetcglover is out.